Kansas City is a magical place where you can always experience something new and celebrate with your crew. It's full of bright lights and unforgettable nights. It's where dreams become real and love is passed down through your favorite meal. Thank you, Kansas City, for always having a place for us at your table.
Dion Clusso with Preps KC here in the Preps KC studio, powered by Xfinity Internet. With speeds faster than a gig, you can power a house full of connected devices all at once. All right, as we kick off the Missouri River Valley Conference East Virtual Media Day, we start alphabetically, of course, with Carrollton and Coach Andy Furkey. And Coach, tough year last year. Some adversity to start the season. You lost a player to death, and then you guys didn't win a football game. And I know that's tough to get through, but you guys got through it. It sounds like you had a great summer. What excites you about this team as you're getting ready to get going?
Well, I think for us, the big thing is that our kids are buying into doing things the way we want as coaches for them to do. The biggest, when you come in as a new coach and you can't show credibility immediately by wins on the field, it takes a great deal of trust by the community and by the parents and the kids to come back for a second year. And I think we've got great buy-in and good turnout. Our kids had a good summer. We started learning. Last year, we were really good at being in the weight room. I think this year we've started learning how to work in the weight room a little bit differently. And I think that that will help us on the field. We had a lot of coaches in and a lot of kids from different programs, and that always helps the football team if they're not the only ones in the weight room. And all of our coaches did a good job of being in there and pushing off season. And we had a lot of kids, kids would go out and really work when they got out on the track after weights and got into their rotations for speed and agility. They did a nice job. So kudos to all, not just the kids, but the coaches who were in there. It helps build that community of hard work.
Offensively, you got almost your entire team coming back on both sides of the ball. How has your offense looked? I'm sure it's maybe night and day from this time last year.
Yeah, last year at this time, we were still trying to figure out where to go in the huddle and, how to practice and what things were called. And, we wore out more whistles the first 2 weeks of the year than, dang. So, this year I told the kids after the third day, I said, this year, where we're at this year compared to what was happening last year at practice is just night and day. We had to stop every 5 minutes, and explain something in depth. And that's just, we have to give them coaching points, but we're not starting from scratch every time we blow a whistle. So it's a refreshing feeling for us as coaches, because we're not at ground zero all the time. And last year, I came into the position late. So as coaches, we didn't really know. I didn't know any of the coaches real well. And so we have a lot more continuity within our staff. We know each other better, and I know what to expect out of them and what our strengths are. So I feel our kids offensively are just getting a lot more done. I look back at what we were doing in practice and what we did the first game, and there was a lot left as they say, on the cutting room floor before later on we were a lot better.
Defensively, again, 9 back on that side too. What have you seen out of that group right now, that the way they're playing?
Well, we start with our full padded practices tomorrow. So, that's defensively where we really start. The rest is just running around patting people. So we'll see tomorrow defensively who really wants to play football bad. And I say that because having done this for years. I've seen all kinds of defenses come and go, but they all involve tackling. And unless the kids don't want to tackle, it's not going to go very well for you defensively. And I think our coaches will do a good job of getting in position to make plays, and we'll just see how much more physical and better tackling we are this year. Getting to the football and tackling guys to the ground will be critical for us, especially early in the year.
We talked about the community, and it sounds like your numbers are up, which means more people are buying in, more parents are wanting their kids to play football. Is that Carrollton's got a long history of a good football tradition? You're really starting to see that now that after like I said, you got a late start last year, and now you've had a full year to be a part of it.
Even last year, I was really impressed with the backing of the community. The attendance at the games is great. The Friday night atmosphere is good, for a team that last couple of years hasn't had a lot of success in wins and losses. I feel that there's, a remarkably resilient group of people who want to see football in Carrollton back. And I think that's exciting. We had the band plays, the stadium's packed, and it's a great atmosphere. We get to play on Stan Key Field. I started my career of coaching against Coach Key, so it's a good deal. And I think a few wins will, get everybody fired up. But I think it's just like any place else. As Royals fans, we've always ready for a winner. And so I think the people in Carrollton, they're supportive of their teams no matter what the record is. They're a great booster of the schools, but I think that once we start turning that corner, and we saw great improvement in a couple of our men's programs last year. Our girls teams, our girls softball won state, so there's a lot of positive things happening in the athletic department here, not just on football. And I think we can do our part to get the school year started off right. And there'll be some enthusiasm come with that.
Well, Coach, it should be a fantastic season. Good luck, and we appreciate you taking time with us.
All right. Thanks a lot. We appreciate your coverage. Go Trojans.
Dion Clisso with Preps KC here in the Preps KC studio, powered by Xfinity Internet. The speed's faster than a gig. You can power a house full of connected devices all at once. All right, as we continue through the MRVC East Virtual Media Day, we're joined by Coach David Diener from Holden. And Coach, another solid year. You guys have really just been building and building since you've been there. Now it's your fourth year, so this is all your kids now. That's got to be a kind of a cool feeling.
Absolutely. It's I'm officially now all they know. And I'm glad for it. It's amazing how just, me being in the weight room for 4 years, seeing those kids grow from freshman to now, and then how it just kind of trickled down the fact, like our freshmen are stronger than freshmen have ever been coming in, just because they've seen how strong kids are in front of them. And, it's just that's just a huge part of making sure you got enough varsity athletes is to be varsity strong. So we really feel like that's been one of the things that's really helped turn this program around. And now just hopefully it being 4 years of lifting with me, we and our system, hopefully the wins keep coming.
Well, tell me this: you got good size numbers on both sides of the ball coming back. Offensively, what have you seen this summer and in the spring that's got you real excited?
Our kids are big up front. We have 3 kids, four of the kids are all over 6 foot. The smallest one up front is 260 pounds. There's at our level, that's a huge advantage to be able to have just 5 consistently big kids up front, and then there's experience up front. We return all 5 linemen from last year are back. We moved one over to the defensive line, but we feel like the kid that moved in there is a big enough, strong enough kid. He's just got to be able to pick things up quickly compared to the other guys, and he has. So we're real excited about what we can do up front. And then offensively, we lost all of our backfield. Our tight end they were all seniors, so we kind of have a new look. But we have 4 kids that we really feel confident can touch the football on any play and hopefully be able to attack both sides of the formation and not know who's going to carry it pre-snap. With good kids up front, we really like what we got going on. So
Defensively, what have you seen? What kind of growth you seen out of that group?
a lot of it, we have seven kids back there. Uh, one kid might play a little bit both ways, but right now he's looking to play in some quarterbacks, so we really don't want him to have to go over and tackle much if we can help it. But we're real excited about the maturity that's back there. We've had a lot of kids that have played for 2 and 3 years. They're now going to be seniors. We really like our secondary has a lot of experience. Our DNs have a lot of experience, and our those kids last year were extremely productive on that side of the ball, and now they're back and a year stronger and faster. So we really like where their progress is, and they're making it tough on me right now in practice. So I'm hoping they can make it tough on other people as well, to be able to make yards and hold teams to some low scoring games.
Some new teams on your schedule this year in the non-con: Pembroke Hill, Adrian, Lincoln. Adrian's been to a state championship game. Pembroke Hill is always a well-coached team. Is it fun to get some different looks?
Absolutely, I'm very excited for this next 2 year cycle. We have 4 new conference non-conference games opening up with Crestridge. They were able to make a good playoff run last year in Class 1. We know that they're going to be a team that's as a second year head coach. There's going to be progression there anyway. So yeah, so we think that's a good step. And then I'm excited to go to the city. That's something. Anytime we can take my kids towards the city to go play, I'm excited because there's they get to see how bigger stadiums, nice, good facilities. We have that around here too, but it's good to go and just see those things and see where we compare, and then also it gets you guys a little closer to keep giving us good press too. So I anytime I get a chance to do that, I'm going to, and I'm really looking forward to the chance to go play Pembroke Hill, play Adrian. We really feel like if we can come out of our non-conference games with some wins, we're going to be able to put ourselves on the map a little bit, and hopefully be one of the top teams in our district once all that gets aligned and seeded out.
Well, Coach, it should be a fantastic season. Good luck, and we appreciate you taking time with us.
All right, thank you.
Dion Clisso with Preps KC here in the Preps KC studio, powered by Xfinity Internet. Fastest internet with multi-gig speeds to the most homes. All right, we move on through the MRVC East Virtual Media Day, and we're joined by Knob-Noster coach Mike Franklin. And Coach, a good solid year last year. You played a lot of younger players. You got a lot of them coming back. Are you starting to see the fruits of being there in your third year and the consistency that you and your staff have brought to these kids?
Oh yeah, 100%, man. It's one of those things I was talking about my first year is, again, like if we can stay the course and continue to be consistent and with these kids, then our numbers will build and we'll get more enthusiasm around the program, and we're really starting to see that in that third year for sure.
How's your offense look? Is there one group or a group of players or skill set that's really taking a big step forward?
Yeah, we got a new quarterback, because we graduated our 3-year starter, and it's always tough to replace a kid like that, man. But this young man that's stepping in, our quarterback, is looking really good so far this summer. And then we're really solid again, have receiver, running back again, and we're really going to lean on those two groups. I would say our top two groups is our running backs and receivers, and we're actually the biggest we are up front since I've been here as well. So I'm pretty excited about that as well.
That's got to be a direct, the consistency in the weight room too, and you start seeing those kids get big. Defensively, what are you guys going to look like this year?
I think our linebacking core is going to be really solid this year. Our plan really is to pursue the ball and really get after that offense and just bring a lot of pressure, bring a lot of heat every single down. And that's just kind of that mentality we're going to bring. And, it's all about the football on defense, baby.
Well, tell me this: how's the community? I know that Knob-Noster's it's a town that's kind of a military town at times. So there's some in and out, but there's also a lot of good people in there. They're there all the time. How fun is that? Are they starting to see and really kind of come around your program?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, even in day one, like the community was supportive really right away. Can I really think it's because they're really used to that military aspect where you're like people are always coming and going, and they're just always welcome with open arms. And this being my third year and really being consistent with the kids and really showing the community that I really care about their their children, like there's massive support for the program right now. And I mean, it couldn't get any better right now.
Well,
From a
Coach,
community standpoint.
should be a fantastic season. Good luck, and we appreciate you taking time with us.
Thank you.
Dion Clisso with Preps KC here in the Preps KC studio, powered by Xfinity Internet, the fastest internet with multi-gig speeds to the most homes. All right, as we move through the MRVC East Virtual Media Day, we're joined by Lafayette County Coach Steve Cook. And Coach, right before we went on the air, we were talking about how'd you get to be there for 18 years, and this is the 15th year season of Preps KC. Time goes by fast, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, and it's been a great ride here at Lafayette County and Higginsville, Missouri, and the support system has been great for our program, and this my family and the community's been great for us, and time gets away from you, it certainly does, and we just look forward to another fall here in Central Missouri.
Well, tell me this: coming off another good year, ran into Lamar. They've ended your seasons quite a few times. There's no doubt about that. But good group you had last year. What do you like about the group you got coming back? You got a lot of starters back.
Yeah, we had an exceptionally small senior class last year that was extremely talented. We only had, I believe, five seniors last year on the team, and this year we have 16 seniors on the team. So we had a lot of junior leadership out there. So it's great to have some of those guys returning. The pieces that we did lose were big time players for us, but we also feel like we're going to be able to replace them with a lot of the skill set that we have coming back.
Well, Coach, what do you like about your offense this year?
It's similar to what we've been doing. We love the wing T principles in everything that we do, and from spread formations, and we run very few plays out of a lot of different sets, and like to keep people guessing what we're going to do there.
Defensively, is there one group that's taking a big step forward for you?
As far as position groups there, everybody's really begin to gel. That's a big thing for us, and the graduates that we had last year, I think they were from each one of the levels of our defense, and it's something that our linebacker play has really shown a lot of growth in the off season, and our defensive line up front was very youthful last year, and some great experience coming back there. So we look forward to watching the defense continue to gel.
Well, tell me this: when you have a veteran group, is it fun to look at your schedule and see you've got a couple of good-sized bus trips there? You go to Warsaw, you go to Aurora, and you get to. How fun is that to kind of bond on the bus with those kids on those longer trips, back-to-back weeks?
Well, and it's crazy. I've even started driving the bus, so I'm one of the bus drivers for for the games, and it's one of those that the trip to Aurora is on it. We felt like we had a commitment locked up from a team in the area, and they backed out on us. So it's just one of those deals that you got to find a game where you can get one, and we're thankful for Aurora and their willingness to play, and it's one of those deals is what it is. And the Warsaw game is a great fit for us. It was a tough ball game last year here versus Warsaw, and we played them 2 years previous in our district championship game, or district semifinal game it was. And they got a tough program there, and it's just a good Class 2 football game for us.
Well, Coach, it should be a fantastic season. Good luck, and we appreciate you taking time with us.
Hey, thanks, Dion. We appreciate all you do for the metro area and including us with that. And Preps KC is a great thing for Kansas City.
Dion Clisso with Preps KC here in the Preps KC studio, powered by Xfinity Internet. With speeds faster than a gig, you can power a house full of connected devices all at once. All right, as we move along here in the MRVC East Virtual Media Day, we move on to Lexington and Coach Chris Brooks. And Coach, I know the last few years you kind of struggled with numbers, and but this year you got a good group coming in. What do you like about what you've seen out of these guys this year?
The camaraderie. We're learning to teach younger kids instead of yell and be angry. Sorry about that. In the past, it seemed like, the kids would work really good for me, freshman, sophomore, junior, then they become a senior, then all of a sudden they become buttholes. They talk down to kids and they don't build them. So with my captains, I spent the whole summer on how we talk and treat the people. I'm the bad guy. You guys are not the bad guy. When there's a problem or somebody has a problem or messes up, I'll do the correcting. You guys are the ones that are supposed to come in and say, hey man, coach is he's going to be on you, but if you need help or, whatever we need to do, let's get it done. Or, maybe you were lined up wrong. Just something in forms of helping instead of knocking them down, which I thought in the past was a problem with the numbers. Because, especially at a small school, when the freshmen come in, they got to go immediately against juniors, seniors, and that can be a little intimidating. Well, if you're intimidated and you're getting yelled at all the time, who wants to be a part of that? And I said, your job as leaders is to get people to follow you, not be scared of you or intimidated by you. They need to follow you. I said, kids aren't out here because I'm this fantastic coach. They're following you. So we got to make sure that we're paying attention to how we lead. It can't just be, when you're in the heat of the moment in competition, sometimes things come out. And I get that. But at the same time, if you got to have man up and say, hey, man, I was a little wrong there. I shouldn't have yelled. Come back and say, my bad. Instead of just, that's the way it is. And we're going to go home mad at each other and yell at each other on Snapchat all night long. We're not going to have that. So, and again, like I mentioned earlier, but that also started with me on how my approach is when I am getting on to you. Is it proper response or am I over the top? And in the past, I felt I was probably a little over the top. So taking a little book out, I don't know if you remember Coach Kogan, but trying to take a little piece out of his book, because Coach Kogan never changed his facial expression, never changes anything. So I spent a lot of time with him. He just got on at Oregon. So I spent a lot of time with him this summer in just demeanor, and just how you're presenting myself to the kids to keep them confident and to know that I still believe in them and I'm not trying to knock you in any way. It's just, we need that extra level. So in that manner, I think as a squad and as a coaching staff, we've all gotten better at that. And that's been our main, because I feel if the vibe is good and everything is going smoothly, it'll show on the field. And so that's been my biggest thing, is just instead of it being up and down all the time, trying to keep it smooth and level.
We've got a good number of starters on both sides of the ball returning. What do you like about the offensive group you've got coming back?
Our depth. Last year, we had to rotate between only 6 linemen, and that's offense and defense. Where actually this year, our depth is on the line. We got at least 12 kids at the D-line, O-line, where we can actually, a kid can actually come out and get a rest. He doesn't have to play I had kids playing 120, 130 snaps last year. So the depth at those positions, we're a little down this year in our skill position spots. We have good kids in those spots. We just don't have a lot of depth. So, but it's refreshing if we can keep the O-line going and the D-line good, we can kind of fit in behind that because we all know the heart of football is up front. So if we can battle up front, that'll give us an opportunity to be in some games and have a chance to win.
Defensively, you've got 7 or 8 backs on that side.
Yep.
Does that make, I know your numbers aren't huge, but when you've got that many starters, how does that help your summer in terms of getting ready? And now that you're into fall practice, just not, having those guys back to be able, you're not maybe not teaching as much and maybe just refining.
We had to do a little bit more. We lost our defensive coordinator. He decided to step down. So I've got a new defensive coordinator, and the defense, we ran a 4-3 last year where we're going to a 4-4 this year. So it's a little bit of teaching, but not much. And that's the leadership we were speaking about a minute ago. I've got kids, D linemen who have played, and they are helping the young ones. As you said, 3 techniques, 1 techniques, where to be, what you're supposed to be doing, how to do it, instead of it didn't feel like the first week we were starting all over again. You know what I mean? Like in the past, it's like you get 8 new kids come out who didn't show up all summer, and now you're reteaching everything. Where now we can get more reps, and then I can also call in those veterans. And now when the younger kids are there, they're watching and helping and teaching along with me. So in that regard, it's been really nice. And I feel honestly that defensively should be our strength this year. We should be pretty solid on defense. So I'm hoping that experience really does pay off in the end.
Well, Coach, it should be a fantastic season. Good luck, and we appreciate you taking time with us.
Thank you. I appreciate the time. Sorry it took so long. Have a good day.
Dion Clisso with Preps KC here in the Xfinity Studios, powered by Xfinity Internet, fastest internet with multi-gig speeds, the most homes. All right, as we close out the MRVC East Virtual Media Day, we finish up with Richmond and bring Coach Nick Purcell. And Coach, kind of a step back season for you. Played a lot of young guys last year, bring a lot of them back. What did you guys learn from last year, and how they kind of taken that into the summer and the offseason?
Yeah, not just young, but really inexperienced last year. I mean, we just had graduated 2 groups of seniors that played a whole lot of football for us before that. So last year it was a lot of growing pains for a group of guys who hadn't been on varsity field, and we've seen that fruits of that labor this summer already. A lot of kids playing faster, way more comfortable from where they were a year ago. So I think as we continue to get older, we're just going to continue to get better. And we were kind of in that boat a few years back, and our group in 21 as freshmen had a tough freshman year, and in 4 years had developed into a pretty good team. And I think that's kind of where we're at right now. Still some young kids playing in a good senior group, but a lot of young kids still on the field for us. And as those kids continue to get older, we're going to continue to see that level of play increase.
You just described a lot of small school football there. That you get a couple groups together, and sometimes you get lucky, you can string 4 or 5 together. But that's kind of this is the nature of the beast. Offensively, what do you like?
I like our offensive line group. Bring our tailback last year, Drayton Hendricks, back as a sophomore now. He looks good this summer running the ball. And then a couple other little pieces. Chris Webb is our senior skill kid, who's probably our most dynamic player. We look to get the ball to him in a variety of ways. And Cyrus Jackson is another back who would have been a JV kid last year, but dominated JV games, super fast, and a kid that we think will really help us going down this season. And then return our wide receiver core and our tight end, which we're excited about. I feel like our tight end position, Tristan McCoy, has played as good this year as we've had at tight end in the summer. So he's a kid that kind of took over midway last year. We always kind of felt like he had a chance be the guy, but we weren't kind of getting it out of him early last year, and his growth from mid-season last year to right now has been pretty tremendous. So we're excited about what he's doing for us too.
What have you seen on the defensive side that's got you excited too?
Our D line play, I think, will be solid. We return our whole secondary. Our outside backers players are back. We really are who we're replacing for the most part is our two inside backers, and we're rolling some different guys through there and just trying to find the right fit. But that's where our most experience really is. I graduated 2 kids that were 2-year starters, one that was a 3-year starter. So replaced a lot of experience, but that's a position where you get to fill it in with the best players you got. So anytime you put your best players in there, that usually works out well.
Schedule the leagues has gotten pretty good the last few years. It seems like Bob Noster and Holden taking a big step forward. Non-con, you open up with Harrisonville, St. Joe, Lafayette, and Marshall. So you guys will get tested right out of the gate.
Yeah, 4 Class 4s to start the year, and trying to find out what we're made of before conference play. And week 1, Harrisonville, we know they're going to be tough. We know they had a good team last year and return a bunch of guys. So that's definitely a measuring stick early in the season. There's no doubt about that.
Well, Coach, it should be a fantastic season. Good luck, and we appreciate you taking time with us.
Thanks, appreciate it.